So we're going to move on to our next presenter, is Paul. He's going to talk about how he hacked the Queenslander. And Paul is currently in Yosemite. I'm very jealous. He's in the lodge there at Yosemite, so we may have some audio choppiness, so just want to give you a heads up on that. Paul's a family man. He lives in Bellevue, Washington with his wife, Tina, and 3 daughters, Sophia, Natasha, and Cassandra. He's a retired marketing professional who now has a side hustle called Lifelong Learners that helps active seniors do more and have more fun. He's also on a journey to become a true craftsman. So besides building little building co-models, and that's the Sydney Opera House there on the left, in the middle is a model boat that he built, and on the far right is a full-size wooden kayak that he built, which is pretty amazing. So Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Greg. So you're going to witness my hacking evolution. And I think of just really beginning my career as a craftsman now that I'm retired. And I really like the idea of journeyman because I truly see it as a journey. And for me, it's a journey I've just begun. This is my 3rd Queenslander. The first one on the left, the second one on the right, and then the most recent one in the middle. Next slide, please. So the models as they come, I call them nude, are just gorgeous. They're just perfect works of art as they are, need no hacking whatsoever. Having said that, next slide, I think as a gift of an appreciation, maybe Christmas, Little Building Company sent me another Queenslander. So I thought this would make a nice gift. I had some spray paint lying around the shop, and I used the camouflage green for the sides, the eggplant color for the base, and then the flat black for the roof. And then actually in preparing for this presentation, it was very instructive in taking these pictures. And sometimes they're a little hard to look at as one who's aspiring for perfection. And what you can see is you can see how the spray paint, or maybe not spraying the back of the roof, it distorted the wood a little bit. So on the one hand, of course, you want to build a perfect model. On the second, if you want to grow, I would highly recommend taking some close-ups, studying them, and being your own critic. Next slide, please. Unity, and these are all materials I had lying around the shop, by the way. The Unity Temple, and we're instructed to burnish some of the wood trim with furniture polish. I wanted more contrast, and I had some liquid shoe polish lying around the shop. So I tried it on the trim, and I was quite pleased with the effect. Next slide, please. So as I built my 3rd and final, well, hopefully not final Queenslander, I actually love this model. I had this time some paste shoe polish lying around the shop. So I figured, okay, let's give that a try. And lesson learned, if you're going to use shoe polish, don't. Use stain if you want this effect. But if you still want to use shoe polish, don't use paste wax. Use the liquid. The liquid went on far easier. So this turned out to be a real hack job. And I found that applying a little heat from a heat gun softened up the paste wax quite nicely, which made it a much easier job to do. And then once again, you can see the close-up picture revealed some of the distortions in the model, in the roof, and then at the platform, which gives me food for thought to be self-critical and hopefully take my skill level the next step. Next slide, please. And then right now, I've been really enjoying getting this kind of stained effect. So I'm back to liquid shoe polish. Having said that, if I ever do this again, I will definitely use wood stain, or I think Marcus had used some acrylic on his models with excellent result. The other thing I'd just like to mention that Stephen mentioned is I too have found myself building the same kit over and over. And the first one makes a great gift, which is the one that you make your mistakes. The second one is the one you keep. Next slide, please. And then for me, the building company matters more than just giving retired guys like me something to do with my free time. There's a housing boom going on in Washington State right now, and You can see the new architectural styles that are predominating. Many people love these homes, live happily then. But I think what Little Building Company is doing is preserving an architectural heritage that it's critical for us to remember. And it allows us to remember it in a three-dimensional, tangible form. So thank you. It's been a real privilege to be a part of this.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. And I do want to mention to everyone that a portion of this, all the sales for Little Building Co. Go towards the preservation of these models. So, for example, if you buy a Frank Lloyd Wright model, a portion of that goes to the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation. With the Farnsworth, it's the National Trust for Historic Preservation. So you are helping keep the real building going by purchasing these models.